All right, I'm back out here working on the truck again. My buddy Travis came down last weekend. Um, we didn't work on it real long, but we got quite a bit accomplished in the short amount of time that he was here. And then ordered some more parts early this week, and then now I'm back out here working on it again, hoping I can get some stuff done this weekend and get it moving along a little further. But I'll show you guys what I got going on. We have the rear end under the truck, Jeep springs on the rear. I got the U-joint, so the drive shaft is all in now. Got the track bar hooked up with it's got the new Prothane bushings in it. This fitting here, the the T-fitting itself is kind of stripped out, so I need to get the new one put on there. I've got the rubber hose already threaded into this old one, so I need to pull that all apart. I've got the new T-fitting here, and I ordered the clips that hold it into this bracket on the rear end too. That way it would all be together. The shocks, I had read that you could use front shocks on the rear with like a 5-inch drop, but if I swing that over there and drop the camera down here, you can see that it's a little bit short. I'm guessing what they meant by 5-inch drop was a 5-inch drop spring. And they say that these Jeep springs are roughly like a 3-inch drop, and then I've got 3-inch blocks. So basically a 6-inch drop, but the blocks don't gain me any, they don't raise up those shock mounts any. They drop those shock mounts down lower. So I ordered some Beltec Street Performance shocks. They came in today. They're for 0 to 6 or 2 to 6 inch drop is what they said. So those should work for the rear. Since we have the rear end under it, the transport wheels are on the back with the 1-inch spacers, so they'll clear the bed sides. So it's all on the ground, or I guess it was all on the ground. I have the front jacked up, the other side's on jack stand. I got the cleaner and stuff I was waiting for so I could clean up the Edelbrock intake manifold so we can get that put on. Oh, and I ordered, since I was doing that, I went ahead and got a thermostat because I was like, if I'm already there, I may as well do the thermostat. So I got a new thermostat, gasket for that, Felpro gaskets for the intake manifold, and I went ahead and ordered a chrome water neck for that upper radiator hose. I figured if I'm already there, it's the time to do it. May as well pretty it up a little bit. And then this is where I'm at now. Grab a light because it's dark under there. I'm on my second day of working on the front here. I got the shock off. The upper ball joint is broke loose. I just put the nut on it enough to hold everything in place, and then I've been trying to get this lower ball joint to break loose, and it just does not want to come loose whatsoever. So I don't know what my next step is there. I've tried a couple of different various methods, but it is just not wanting to break loose whatsoever. I even went and bought a bigger hammer today to beat on it some more. Pickle fork, everything, and it just doesn't seem to want to come apart. So I've got 1 or 2 other ideas I might try. I might call in some reinforcements, see if somebody else can get that broke loose, and then I'll still have to do the other side as well. So maybe we can get a day, if I can't get a day where somebody who has a little better luck than me, we can maybe tag team this front and get those 3-inch lowering springs in the front, and then replace the upper and lower ball joints and put it all back together. And then I've got new shocks for the front as well as shock extenders for the front. So between all of that, should be in pretty decent shape up here. And I think that's really about it. So I've still been chipping away. I feel like might be a couple of other parts that I've had show up. I did buy a cheap Harbor Freight ball joint press to do those front ball joints, just because I didn't have one. I don't use them very often, so I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on one, but I also didn't want to have to keep borrowing the one from the parts store or whatever. So yeah, the back is pretty much together. Get those shocks on there, and get the brake line situation figured out, and should be good to go back here. I'll probably leave the bed off. I gotta do the I gotta bleed the brakes and stuff still, so I'll probably just leave the bed off until I can test drive it, make sure everything seems to be good, make sure I don't need to get underneath it to do anything back here. Everything's pretty accessible how it is. Another concern that I have is once the bed is on, there's not a ton of clearance from the axle to the frame, which isn't really something I was expecting to be an issue, but if that is an issue, it might be a little bit more of an issue than I was hoping for, because I'm not going to notch this truck twice if I'm doing it. I'm going to do a big notch the first time, so I'll just go ahead and do a full step notch if I do have to do that, and then I'll never have to worry about the rear end bumping the or the axle bumping the frame. But with that, I'll have to cut out or remove this upper or this front brace here that the shocks mount to, and I'll have to do some tubing across the top of the notch and probably mount the shocks to those. And I hope if it comes to that I might have to finagle some shock mounts to be able to use the shocks I already have, because I'm not buying a third set of shocks for the back of this thing. Luckily, these shocks that I've got that are hanging on there right now are just factory front shocks, so I'll always have those for backups for the front, or actually I'll probably just take these two and throw them on the front whenever I do it. That way I've got two that are still brand new in the box. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Still making progress. Hopefully get some more done this weekend. I don't really have much plans. My daughter's got basketball tomorrow, and then I'm going to come back and chip away at some more stuff on the truck. So, yeah, that's where we're at.